We all know we're not just here for a class, for a gathering, but we're also here about Hashem for the holy holiday of Tu Bishvat that we're going to speak about in a moment. But before we speak about the shiur, I would like first of all to speak about Balat Habayit, Baal Habayit, that the family, not just the Tzaddiket Arian, but her husband, her mother, her siblings, they are all mamash very close to our hearts, very close to our neshama, and Be'ezrat Hashem we will grow together for many years to come, them and their grandchildren, with our mission, Be'ezrat Hashem, to spread the Torah all around the world, and Be'ezrat Hashem to truly fulfill the mission that we came down to the world to do. So I would love us first of all to bless Baal Habayit, the Tzaddik Rabbi Michael, and Balat Habayit, Tzaddiket Arian, that may HaKadosh Baruch Hu Be'ezrat Hashem spill in this house, Shefa Ad B'nidai. May this house, Be'ezrat Hashem, be a house only of happy gatherings. And them and their kids taste pure sweetness from today to eternity to come. Amen. Amen. And may all their prayers heard and all their wills, heart wishes fulfilled. Amen. Amen. And for all those who are attending, in the merit of my grandfather Rabbi Pinto, in the merit of this holy holiday, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless everyone with all the brachot, and Be'ezrat Hashem fulfill everyone's heart wishes. Amen. Amen. You know, Abotai, today, as we mentioned, it is a Chag. It is a holiday. The holiday of what? The holiday of Rosh Hashanah Leilanot. What does that mean? It's actually the New Year's of the trees. Where it said, Abotai, in the Mishnah, that there are 4 Rosh Hashanahs. There are 4 New Years. One of the 4 New Years is today, where Kadosh Baruch Hu judges the trees, like on Rosh Hashanah, who's going to bear fruit, who's going to be big trees, who's going to be small trees, who's going to live, and who's going to die, like Rosh Hashanah. You know, Abotai, the Mekubalim teach that on the day of Tu Bishvat, a person could reach to levels of success, and to levels of beracha, that one can only reach when? On Rosh Hashanah. That if a person knows how to use the holiness of today, if a person knows how to direct tonight, the fact that we are all gathering today, in the right direction, a person can achieve anything in the world. He could achieve Parasha, he could achieve health, he could achieve zivuk. There is nothing that a person cannot achieve if he's able to use the attributes of tonight properly. To the point, Rabotai, where Baal Shem Tov, the grandfather of Rabbi Nachman Breslev, Mishpachat Man is very close to Rabbi Nachman Breslev. A Baal Shem Tov, on the day of Tu Bishvat, it was known that he would wear white, like on Yom Kippur, like on Rosh Hashanah, and he made it like a day of Mishteh U'Simcha. He made a celebration like we are celebrating it today, where he truly believed that tonight there is something special. So now, Botai, the real question is, what is so special about tonight? We know, Botai, like we mentioned, there are 4 New Years. We don't celebrate all the other 4 New Years. There's the New Year's for the kings, there's the New Year's for the crops. Have we ever heard about the holiday that we celebrate, the New Year of the crops, the New Year of the kings? Nothing. Only Rosh Hashanah, the New Year's of people, and the New Year's of the trees. Why is that, Rabotai? And why did the Mekubalim find tonight as such a special night to bring blessing, to bring shefa, to bring one's heart's wishes fulfilled? So now, Rabotai, in order to understand this, we have to go back. But not back a year or 2. We have to go back to Bereshit. We have to go back to the beginning of the creation of this world. You know, Rabotai, if we look in the book of Bereshit, we see something which is very interesting. We see, Rabotai, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to the earth and he asks the earth a command. He asks from the earth to do a mitzvah. What does HaKadosh Baruch Hu command the earth? He tells the earth, I want you to grow et peri osa peri. What does that mean? If we translate word for word, it's grow fruit tree that bears fruit. In Hebrew, it's translated a little bit different. One pasuk afterwards, one psalm afterwards, we see that the Torah says, and the earth grew trees that bear fruit. Meaning that the earth did not fulfill the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It changed what Hashem asked it. Hashem asked them, bear fruit trees that bear fruit. It grew trees that bear fruit. Now, you know, Rabotai, Rashi explains, what is the difference between fruit trees or just trees that bear fruit? Rashi explains that a fruit tree is something that we are not used to in today's existence. Rashi says, fruit tree, or what HaKadosh Baruch Hu intended for trees to be like, was supposed to be in a way where the tree, meaning the branch, the roots, no, it's the trunk. That the trunk, the branch, the leaves, everything would have the exact same taste as what? As the fruit it bears. Whereas you know today, if you go and you take you take a branch of an apple and you bite it, what is it going to taste like? It's going to taste like wood. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted that the trees and the fruit taste the same. And now, but we're going to explain it. But first of all, why didn't the earth fulfill the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? It's a simple commandment. It's not something that seems to be so complicated. But still we see that the earth disobeys the will of Hashem. Now, but in order to understand that, we're going to go a little bit deep and we're going to explain step by step in order for all of us to truly understand the power that we hold in our hands tonight. You know, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was creating the world, He created the world in a way, like what the Zohar Kadosh explained it, with a way of ishtalshelut. What does ishtalshelut mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not create every single small creation individually with His own hands, but instead created big creations, that those big creations would have the attributes and have the strength to create other creations which are smaller than Him, and those have the power to create other, and that goes further and further and further. Which in other words, in today's English, which is not 100% proper, according to the Torah, evolution. Well, like what we said, it's not 100% proper. Because we don't believe that we came from the monkeys, but there is a concept of ishtalshelut. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the earth, He created the earth in a way of shamayim va'aretz, where He created a globe. Now in this globe, there was strength, there was attributes, there was life that doesn't exist today. To the point where the Zohar Kadosh says that the earth had a conscience. That the earth was like a man who was able to think. He was able to make thoughts, to make decisions. Not like the way that we see earth today. And the earth was created in that way in order to form little creations, trees, animals, materials like metal, whatever it is. And afterwards, pass on that life, that consciousness to another creation. And that is why we see the earth essentially had what? The earth essentially had like an opinion. The Zohar Kadosh says, and explains the concept of what we say etz peri or saperi, or more to just develop on the thought of a tree that tastes like the fruit it bears. It's something simple. You know, Botai, if you look at the tree, or you look at the fruit, what is the fruit? The fruit is essentially the result of a tree taking all its strength, taking all its attributes that it offers, and merakez, and concentrating it into one place in order to form something sweet, in order to form something which is greater than itself. But in order to do so, it needs to use every single drop of energy and every single drop of strength that it holds. Now imagine, Rabotai, if the trees was able to do what? Imagine if the trees had a little bit more strength. Or imagine if the trees had a little bit more attributes. Or imagine if the trees just had enough life and enough strength within itself to create fruit that is sweet, but still not give up all its strength. And that, Rabotai, was actually the path that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to take. Where He wanted to create the trees with such an abundance of strength and life, which it would be able to sustain itself in a sweet manner and still give fruits which will bear sweet. But even more so. This is where, Rabotai, we truly learn that we know just a little bit about our surroundings. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create tree with conscience. He wanted to create trees with moda'ut, with knowledge. That not the trees that we see today, that they look like little branches that we put in the ground and we push it around, we cut it, we chop it, we kill it when we choose to. that the trees were actually supposed to be something much bigger than what they are today. Or just in other words, they were supposed to be, like their parents, the two most important figures in our history, which is what? The tree of knowledge and the tree of life. That the concept of tree is actually much deeper than what we perceive it to be. Where choice, the concept of choice, the concept of freedom, actually comes from where? From the tree of knowledge. Where the concept of one having free will comes from that place. Or life. Life comes from where? Life comes from the tree of life. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu's intention, he wanted to create trees that would continue on forward like the tree of life and like the tree of knowledge. Where all trees will carry those exact same attributes of having a conscience, of having a mind of their own, of being free 100%. But, what do we see? What did the earth do? The earth did not give up that consciousness, that life that he had within him, and he did not pass it on to the trees. Why is that, Abotai? So, Abotai, there's something beautiful. This is my chidush. I think it's something amazing that we should all hold on to. Maybe we could say, Rabotai, that the earth, being such a smart creation, being a creation that had the attributes and the knowledge to create all other life, maybe the earth saw something coming in the future. Maybe we could say that the earth saw that in just a short period of time, man will be created. But what will man do? What will man do? Sin. Man will sin. Where man is created from dirt, man will sin. It's inevitable. Like we say, En tzadik ba'aretz asher yaseh tov v'lo yichtah. There is no such thing that a person that exists in the world that doesn't sin. So the earth knew that man would sin. But the question is, what would HaKadosh Baruch Hu do to earth? What would HaKadosh Baruch Hu do to man after it sinned? And that's where the earth came in and played a very crucial part. The earth said, if I will do a small sin before Adam is created, what will happen? I will create a small gap where Adam HaRishon could split the judgment and could split the punishment, not just on himself, but to split it between me and between him. Where the earth said, one sin that I have to do, and I will create an excuse for Adam HaRishon. Why? Adam HaRishon, after he sinned, is going to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you can't punish me. I was created from what? I was created from dirt that sinned before me. You can't put all the blame on me when I was created already with a flaw. I was created defective. If you want to blame someone, blame the earth that you created me from. That it sinned way before me. And that's how the earth would bring upon the man kindness and will split the judgment amongst two entities. But you know, Abotai, the problem that was done with that is something like this. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu, days later, came to create man, where did he create man from? Four corners of the earth. The Zohar Kadosh said, Rabotai, that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu put that dirt from the four corners of the earth together, what stuck to man? What stuck to man was that concept of freedom, that concept of consciousness which is above all the other creations. That essentially, Rabotai, man holds something that was deprived from the trees and something that was supposed to go to the trees. That essentially the concept of us being so superior with knowledge, us being so superior with the way we think, with our connection to our world, with our moda'ut, with the consciousness that we have, it was actually supposed to be going to the trees. Where in the book, Shomer Emunim, it is something incredible. The Shomer Emunim says that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, he intended for the world and for man to be like a box that carries a diamond. If you look at the box that carries a diamond, the outside is what? Simple, it's wood, it has no value, but inside it holds something that is with great value. That was supposed to be man. His body was supposed to be simple, but within that body, it would hold what? It would hold a diamond. It would hold a neshama. But the act of what the earth did, by depriving that freedom and that will and that consciousness and that power from giving it to the trees, it ended up in the hand of man. And when that happened, Rabotai, we got to where we have such a superior nature above all the creation. And that's why Rabotai Chazal say, Ki ha'adam hu etz hasadeh. If we translate that, what does that mean? Man is the tree of the field. We always ask, why Adam hu etz hasadeh? Why the man is the tree of the field? You should say the man is maybe like the tree of the field. Why the man is the tree of the field? Because man holds something which was originally created for the tree of the field. And that is why Rabotai, today, being Rosh Hashanah for the trees, today being a time where all the trees are judged, also, that attribute of freedom, that extra knowledge, that extra consciousness that didn't necessarily belong to us, but is within us, is also being judged tonight. And that is why, Rabotai, we can achieve tonight to levels of success and to levels of atzlacha that we cannot achieve any time of the year except for Rosh Hashanah. Because the peace that is being judged, that peace that does not belong to us, is also an opportunity for us to bring down big shefa to the world. And that's why Rabotai tonight is so special. That's why tonight we need to have the right intention and to do the right tefillot and to put our mind in the right place. And if we are able to do so, Rabotai, it will bring upon us a shefa that we cannot even explain, we cannot even comprehend. It's a limitation and its capability. So now, Rabotai, to continue speaking about this subject and to bring it maybe more to a practical place, it's always important we leave with something to work on, something to fix. I would like to speak about the reality, something that's credible, that all these years we go through, nobody asks this question. And that is the date of when the New Year's of the tree falls. You know, Rabotai, when we think about New Year's, when we think about the new calendar, when we think about a new count, where do we usually start from? No?
January 1st.
1. Aharon? After Rosh Hashanah, we start 1. After December, we start January 1. And the end of the week, we start what? Sunday, which is 1. Now, Rabotai, how is it possible that tonight we are celebrating New Year's of the trees, but what date is it? 15th. Not a secular date, Jewish date. That Tu Be'av, why do we call Tu Be'av? Tu, Tet, Vav, Be'av, Bishvat, the 15th of Shvat. So how do we start, Rabotai, a new calendar? How does the trees start a new year when it's really the middle of the month? And what can we learn for the reasoning of HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually putting the first day of the year for the trees in the middle of the month? And this, Rabotai, is actually based on the sentence we just said a moment ago. That we are what? We are, Rabotai, a piece, and we are compared to what? To the tree of the field. You know, Rabotai, maybe we could say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to teach us all a lesson to keep for the rest of our lives. Maybe we could say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to teach us that if the tree, which we possess a piece of it, if the tree is able to start a new count, a new beginning in the middle of the month, and maybe we can say that us too, we can start a new beginning in the middle of our lives. But you know, Rabotai, a lot of the times you meet people that we talk about change, we talk about starting something new, we talk about bettering ourselves, and they hit this wall of thinking to themselves of how can I change, how can I better myself in the place where I'm at in my life. Where I already spent 40, 50 years of my life What? I'm going to get up and change and it's going to make a difference? Now what we can learn is the trees can start in the middle, then so can we start in the middle. That a person cannot get up and say, it's too late for me to start something new. It's too late for me to begin a new beginning. We see this week's Parasha, which the Tunisians hold very, very dear. Parasha Tito. We see what? We see a man which was a complete Rasha. He was a man which in today's level of status, you can call him the Pope. Mitro was who? Kohen Midian. He was the Kohen Gadol of the idol worship. He was the main priest of the idol worship. We see that an entire Parasha is named after him. Why? Why doesn't Moshe have a Parasha under him? But Yitro has a Parasha under him. Because Abotai Yitro was to put a lesson for generations to come, that no matter where a person stands in his life, even like Yitro, which he was the father of idol worships, he was able to come back and to do teshuvah and to start a new beginning. And when one gets up and starts a new beginning, from whatever level he started of impurity, he can go from that level and only build up towards Kedusha. Where we say that where a person does teshuvah from love, all his past wrong becomes into what? Becomes into merit, becomes into mitzvot. And that, I think, is not only the connection between Torah and the connection between two Bishvat, but also, the lesson which this holiday is here to teach us. It's here to teach us that at any point and time of our life, we must get up and we must strive to be better. We must strive to always change for the good. You cannot sit down and say, look, I'm comfortable where I am, or it's too late for me to change, or too late for me to start, and that's it. There is no place that a person cannot get up and fix from. Of course, we all know I'm referring up to teshuvah. Maybe this could apply in somebody's life with a bad habit. Maybe it could apply to somebody's life with a bad addiction. But here we're going to talk about teshuvah. Here we're going to talk about one repairing and coming close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now, bottom line. How can we, tonight, the Rosh Hashanah of our consciousness, the Rosh Hashanah of our complete freedom which belongs to the trees, how can we get up tonight and truly make a difference and start our reparation and start our new start? So it's something simple. The Zohar Kadosh says, the Zohar Kadosh speaks about destruction and how any destruction could be repaired. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai asked in the Zohar, and something beautiful. He says, we speak about reparation, but can glass be repaired? Can something like glass that, as we know, even the smallest pressure, the smallest dent, cause it to shatter? Could even glass be repaired? So the Zohar Kadosh gives us a tip and a secret for life. The Zohar Kadosh says, even glass can be repaired with a simple act. Act of what? With an act of bringing it back a few steps. Of pulling it back a few steps in its process where it got to become glass. And when you take it to that original form, you can repair it. You can start something new. So with that exact same fashion, I would like to start a few steps of who we are as a people. And I would like to start a few steps of who we were as Bnei Israel. Today, when we go to a lot of Torah classes, when we go to a lot of shiurim, a lot of the Rabbanim, they get stuck with the details. A lot of the Rabbanim get stuck with the noise around, and they tend to forget the ikar. They tend to forget the main purpose, the main root, the main meaning, which is what? So one day, we did a shiur for a group of young people who are about to go to college. So as we know about here in America, when you send your kid to college, there's a big chance that you're not going to do all the things that you necessarily allow him to do, or not all the things that you would want him to do. So I thought to myself, and I said, what can I tell these young boys now that will stick to them And what can I tell these young boys now? That they will hold on throughout the next 4 or 5 years, that they're going to be tested hundreds of times whether or not they're going to hold their faith or not. So I had an idea. I got up and I said, you know, Rabotai, today we're going to teach the biggest mitzvah that exists in the world. And this mitzvah will be a mitzvah that will buy a person this world and buy him the next world to come. So everyone said, okay, it's one mitzvah, something beautiful. This is going to be something amazing. So I said, you know, Rabotai, do you know what mitzvah that is? So everybody was listening. I said, the mitzvah is that from now, we're going to stop keeping Shabbat. And we're going to stop eating kasher. And we're going to stop putting tefillin. Everybody looked at me and they said, what is he saying? This is a mitzvah? Some of them got excited. They said, wow, finally we have a Rav that matches my level. He's with me. That's not what I was intending. Now, but I said, I'll explain to you why I'm saying this. You know, but when we go to the beginning, the first moments of who we were as people, like I said, take a few steps back. We see that what was the seal between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The seal was simple. The seal was a sentence that Bnei Israel said. What was the sentence? No? Naaseh v'nishma. What does that translate to? What does that translate to? No. We'll do and we'll listen. Okay, so now I have a question. Can you do what you don't know I'm going to tell you? Can you do what I didn't explain what I want you to do? Bnei Israel said, we'll do everything that you want, then we'll hear what you want us to do. How can such a thing exist? It's impossible. So why is it that the Torah actually uses this sentence, and this was the sentence that actually sealed us in HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And the reason, Rabotai, is simple. When, Rabotai, do you look at a person and you say, I'll do whatever you want, you don't even have to tell me what you want. I'm telling you for now what to do. When do you tell that to a person? When you have love for the person. It's like a person that loves his wife comes to her and says, you know, my wife, whatever you want. You don't even have to tell me. From now I'm telling you, I'm going to agree. From now I'm telling you, I will do anything for you. Why? Because my love is so deep for you that no matter what it is, I'll go above and beyond to do so. So yes, I will do it even before I heard what you want me to do. And that can only come from what, Rabotai? That can only come from a person that has love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but in a deep way. Where it says, Rabotai, in the book, in all the books of Musar, it says the one mitzvah that can bring a person to do all the other mitzvot is what? The mitzvah of love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because there is nothing that a person won't do when there is love put into the equation. When you love a person, you will jump to the fire if it means that's what's going to save you. If a person loves someone, he doesn't even have to ask, and he'll run and he'll do whatever he wants. That, Rabotai, what we're missing in today's generation. When today, Rabotai, people lost that connection. Things became too technical. Things became too detailed. And we lost the simplicity of having love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that love will drive us forward to do more and more Torah and mitzvot. But I can guarantee you one thing. The details won't cause you to love Hashem. Love for Hashem will cause you to do the details. But not backwards. And that's Rabotai where we have to start. We have to start on building back those details. We have to start that core, that love. And if we're able to build back that core and that love, there is no detail in the world that won't jump to make our Father in the sky happy. That, Rabotai, is something that is very big, and I think that is what we should all take upon ourselves leading this class. Now, how should we start? How are we going to start loving HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No. Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael is beautiful. Shema Yisrael is our emunah. Shema Yisrael is the most beautiful thing that you could do. No. How? Like I said, that's beautiful. But how in actuality can you cause somebody now to start loving HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No.
Please.
I'm not in your
They're all going to be good answers. I'm not going to say no to none of them. They're all good, they're all amazing answers. They're all, of course, if that's what you feel in your heart, that's what's going to bring you close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know what? I started with a recipe. We've been telling all the youth, all the young people, And truly, it's been mamash doing, building worlds, Baruch Hashem. And I want really everyone to take it upon themselves today. You know, the young, especially the young, the main problem is the connection is broken. Or even amongst us, the connection is broken. How can you start to love someone when there's no basic contact? When there's no basic connection? It's like I tell you, I'm standing, I know I stand here, see you. I want you to love me. I have no connection with you. So the most important part of Abotai is to create a connection. So now Baruch Hashem blessed this generation with having a portable wife, the phone. Now, we ask all the young people, no, how many hours a day you use your phone? Some say 10 hours, say 8 hours, 6 hours.
Double battery.
Huh?
Double battery.
So Hashem Yerachem. So now, Botai, why don't we take this phone that we use for so many hours in a day and do something like this? We put a timer on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is nothing compared to 4 or 5 hours of using the phone. Nachon? We can all agree, Nachon?
Yes.
We put a 2-minute timer. And we take those 2 minutes, put the timer in front of us, and we take those 2 minutes just to ask from Hashem all what we want. We need panasa, Hashem give me panasa. You want a new car, Hashem I want a new car. You want to get married, Hashem I want to get married. You want to be healthy, Hashem I want to be healthy. And every single person has exactly on the clock 2 minutes to ask from all what you want from your Father up in the sky. 2 minutes, not even to think, just to ask. But this is the condition. The moment the 2-minute timer ends, you have to stop whatever you were in your prayers. I mean, if you're about to say, no, Hashem, give me parna, and then ding, 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 started, you stop in the middle. You know about that there's enough of a connection, there's enough of a bond between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu to grow and to become into a love that will cause us, B'at Hashem, to keep all the Torah and Mitzvot. So may HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'at Hashem, protect Ba'alat HaBayit and Ba'al HaBayit. All those who are sitting here with you. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'at Hashem, the merit of Rabbi Pinto, open up the gates of Panasar, the gates of Yeshua, the gates of Teshuvah. May all our prayers be heard, all our hearts and wishes be fulfilled. Amen. You think for what? Hashem only gives me bad. Does not even see the good. But anybody could ask. There's no person that doesn't have something that he wants. Nachon? And also, the way you ask makes a big difference. Because now, when you were a kid and you want something from your father, if you go to Abba, give me that. He's going to say, go back to your room. But if you say, Abba, you know, I've been a good boy, so please, I want that. So suddenly you're going to start to do what? You're going to start to want to soften your father in order to give you what you want. So asking is the simplest thing that we can all do. And the way we pray, the way we ask, we don't even know what we could achieve. You know, there was a story, I'm going to say a very beautiful short story, that I think is so beautiful, Abotai, so beautiful for all of us to keep. It's actually about a Baal Shem Tov, about Rabbi Nachman Bresler's grandfather. As we know, Rabbi Shem Tov spoke a lot in all his books about the concept of Ashgacha Pratit. What does that mean? Ashgacha Pratit means personal, no, it's personal protection, personal caring, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu keeps and cares for every single person as an individual, to the point where he said that if a person does not believe in personal care from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he is a Rasha. Well, you can't say, Hashem forgot me. Hashem keeps and takes care of every single person. So he said one time, one of his students was standing in the road and he saw a leaf from the tree that fell. So he said, you know what? Rabbi Nachman always says that every single small thing in the world has personal guidance from Hashem. Why did that leaf fall? So he ran to Rabbi Nachman. So Rabbi Nachman, a leaf just fell in front of me. I want to know why it fell. So Rabbi Nachman ran to the leaf. Baal Shem Tov ran to the leaf. And as we know, every single creation has on top of it a malach. Every single creation has on top of it an angel. So he asked the leaf. He said, leaf, what caused you to fall? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu ask you to fall? So the angel of the leaf, he said, you know, Baal Shem Tov, I was standing, I was connected to the tree The tree moved very, very hard, and he caused me to fall. So Rabbi Pinto ran to the branch. He said, branch, why were you moving so hard and caused the leaf to fall? So he said, look, the wind was blowing hard on me, and it caused me to move left and right, and he fell. So I went to the wind. And he said, wind, why did you fall? Oh, the wind said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me, blow on that tree. So, Rabbi Pinto said, go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and ask Hashem, why did he cause you to go and push that tree? So the angel went to Hashem and came back. When he came back, he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, pick up the leaf and you'll see. So Rabbi Pinto ran to the leaf, picked up the leaf. What did he find under it? A worm. And he looks and he sees this worm laying under the leaf. He said, worm, why are you here? Why are you under the leaf? So he said, it was so hot today. I looked up to Hashem and I started to pray. I said, Hashem, please give me shade. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu did all that for what? In order for that little worm to have shade. That was the prayer of the worm. Imagine if we pray, imagine what we could achieve. If we just ask and we just create that bond with Hashem.